Everything is vibrating. All around us. The world is turning. There is a secret life beneath us. We're all connected through the earth.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Netflix dropped a brand new Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 trailer, so we'll break it all down. There's a bunch of Easter eggs here. Obviously, this is all based on the original Avatar: The Last Airbender Book 2, which is all set in the Earth Kingdom. So if you're brand new to the channel, I'll be doing videos for the episodes. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. Obviously, the big thing here is revealing Toph for the first time, Melon Lord. This is probably the only time that Netflix isn't going to call you degenerate for asking to see all the feet pics, and they definitely delivered for science. Because as you notice, they start the trailer with her feet pics as she steps into the arena. There's a bunch of scenes of Toph in the trailer, but for the most part, the scene that they break up across the trailer and her voiceover dialogue are from completely different scenes. But probably two of the most notable scenes when they first introduce the character. As you probably guessed, it's Team Aang watching her for the first time as the Blind Bandit fight in the arena during the Blind Bandit episode of Book 2. In the original animated series, that wasn't actually her first appearance. Technically, her first appearance was in a vision to Aang in the swamp. Her first real big moment in the series was in the Blind Bandit episode during the actual tournament, as we're seeing it in the trailer here. We will see how they condense that for the live-action series because they only have 8 episodes, and there was a lot of stuff that they cut out of Book 1 for Season 1 of the live-action series, so just expect the same kind of vibe during Season 2. Gotta speed run everybody to Ba Sing Se.
Your champion, the Blind Bandit!
The whole idea is that she was using the Blind Bandit as a false name fighting in this underground tournament because she is from a prominent Earth Kingdom family. She's actually very, very wealthy and wanted to keep it secret from her parents, who wanted nothing to do with her having fun fighting as an Earthbender or anything like this. A really big part of her arc is actually stepping away from her family to make as many feet puns as possible. Her speech that they break up across the entire trailer, like she narrates pretty much the entire trailer, is all about the technique of how earthbending works because Book 2, Season 2, is all about Aang learning how to earthbend. He asks her point blank after he defeats her in this tournament, after she defeats Boulder, to be his earthbending teacher, which at least at first she wants nothing to do with. He slowly eventually wins her over, and then she explains how earthbending works. So that's why later in the trailer you see him with the bandana over his eyes so that he's learning from Toph, probably the Earth's best earthbending teacher next to the actual badger moles themselves, who she learned from, who were natural earthbenders. Whole bunch of earthbending puns there. So she's basically describing what it feels like to actually earthbend. Probably one of the other connections to present day too and what's happening with the new animated Avatar series, the Seven Havens series. The new Avatar that they're introducing during that later in the timeline after Korra's Avatar is actually going to be an earthbending Avatar. We probably won't see that new animated series for like another couple years. Like it's going to take them way longer to actually make that. But there is a lot of earthbending related stuff happening right now. They'll wind up finishing the animated Aang movie, The Legend of Aang, set after the events of Book 3, long before they premiere the brand new series that they're working on. Maybe they'll get that out by the time the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 3 premieres. We'll see about that. It just depends. It takes way longer to make animation than it does for live-action. One of the reasons, as you can see, probably most noticeable thing about Aang during this trailer, in addition to him learning how to earthbend from Toph and all the Toph stuff, is how much older the actor playing Aang looks from Book 1. Just look at these two pictures. This is from Season 1, and this is from Season 2. He looks like he's about to have a 5 o'clock shadow by the time they get to Book 3, Season 3 stuff. This is one of the reasons why Netflix greenlit both Season 2 and Season 3 back-to-back. I believe they've either almost finished or actually already finished filming Season 3, just because he was growing so fast. Making another comp to the Aang movie that Mike and Bryan are making right now, the animated movie, he actually looks more like that slightly older version of Aang after the events of Book 3. Then there's a bunch of other scenes they mix into the trailer here too. It's a relatively short trailer, but they do give us a couple really solid scenes. So there's a scene of Teo's flying chair next to Appa and the gang and the mechanist built for him. Remember, he's played by Danny Pudi from Community, big guest star during season 1. Then another really big scene here, Iroh teaching Zuko how to lightning bend.
You've got to feel the flow.
You have to remember that Zuko's arc is meant to be a parallel for Aang's arc, so they're both learning new types of bending during Book 2, Season 2. There's also a lot of Azula lightning bending later in the trailer. Don't worry, we'll talk about that because that seems like it's from later in the season because of what happens during the events of Book 2. They're meant to mirror the Book 2 episodes. There'll be changes, but a lot of the big beats will be the same. You also notice Zuko is wearing green and he cut his hair because they're hiding in Ba Sing Se, or they're on their way to Ba Sing Se here. They haven't got there yet, and they're trying to hide out, so that's why he's trying to be in disguise. Firebenders not so popular inside the Earth Kingdom right now, so they want to hide out in Ba Sing Se. They don't want people to know that they're Firebenders. Then there's another wide shot of the Earth King's palace. We will see how they deal with this plot too. I expect this to be a big part of the actual Season 2 plot, where they deal with the Dai Li. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Everybody remembers all the memes. I know people are going to be asking about Bosco. I fully expect to see some form of Bosco during the series. Please, Netflix, tell us that you did Bosco. There's so many giant CG creatures in Season 1 in the Season 2 trailer here, like brand new creatures. It would be a surprise if they didn't try to go for Bosco. I remember when Legend of Korra first came out and they went back to the Earth Kingdom, people were asking, what happened to Bosco? Where is Bosco? Mike and Bryan kind of made it sound like he eventually either died or got eaten at some point, like met a very grisly fate, to make more puns. We get a little more of an action scene of Mai and Ty Lee, who seems like they're fighting Suki and Sokka. We'll see if they double down on more of Suki in Season 2 compared to the amount of time she spent in the original animated Book 2 episodes. She was around for a lot of big things, like she was a big part of Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3, but she wasn't in a lot of Book 2 episodes. The live-action adaptation seems like it's making her a more prominent character, which I'm totally fine with. Anytime they make story changes, you have to remember they only have 8 episodes, so just expect them to double down on some core characters a little bit more. There's a real quick scene of Katara waterbending, surfing across the ocean, which is actually a pretty cool effect. This is more of them entering the arena for the first time, watching Toph enter. They haven't seen her before, like they have no idea who she is. Aang has only seen a vision of her. We'll see if they actually do that swamp vision during the actual episodes. Part of the idea is that Aang comes to this and sees her and then recognizes her from the vision, like, oh, you're the person that I saw in my vision. You're supposed to be my earthbending teacher. When she breaks the boulder with her earthbending, here it's a sly wink at her boulder character fight, like he's the first person that she takes down in a hilarious way. I'm going to go ahead and guess they did not get The Rock to play the character. That would have been amazing, though, because it seemed like they modeled him back in the day after Dwayne Johnson.
The hierarchy of power is about to change.
If it wasn't clear, though, the actress who's playing Toph, Mia Chek, is not actually blind in real life. There are a bunch of Easter eggs here, though. The animation they use for her earthbending ability in this episode, in the actual ring, is similar to the animated series. It looks like this several times when you see her earthbending, but not every single time she earthbends. This is kind of like the camera going into Toph perspective mode, like this is the way that she perceives earthbending. She literally feels the earth through her feet, like the vibrations through her body. Then they end the trailer with a whole bunch of Easter eggs in this title reveal, like the symbol for the Earth Kingdom to Aang's tattoo lighting up with the Avatar state transitioning to the green title and the rock letter transition because the season is set in the Earth Kingdom and all the characters are converging in Ba Sing Se by the finale. And this season is all about Aang learning how to earthbend. He has to learn to master all forms of bending, all the elements, by the time Sozin's Comet arrives, so that he's able to master the Avatar state in time to fight Fire Lord Ozai. Part of the idea is that his body is only able to go into the Avatar state automatically to protect itself. He can't will himself into the Avatar state yet on command. So as of Book 2, the only way for him to actually go into the Avatar state is if he's about to die. When Sozin's Comet arrives very soon, they've actually sped up the timeline on the TV show for obvious reasons. It will supercharge all Firebender's abilities enough to allow them to steamroll the rest of the world pretty easily. One of the other cool questions that Mike and Bryan answered in the animated series, especially because we have all this lightning bending going on during the trailer, is Azula lightning bending Aang while he was in the middle of going into the Avatar state at the end of Book 2. So we'll see how they deal with this during the actual TV series, the live action series. If you've not watched those animated episodes, just go out and watch. All the episodes are there. Book 2, it's solid. It's a great, great season. There are a couple real big actors that they cast for some very notable roles. For instance, Deacon Lockman, who you all probably recognize from 1,000 different things, is playing Avatar Yang Chen, so we will get some Yang Chen during Book 2, Season 2 stuff. Lily Gao was playing Ursa, Zuko and Azula's mother, so we are getting some more flashbacks to Zuko's mother. And probably one of the other biggest characters people will be asking about because of what happens to Katara during Book 2, Tantu Cardinal as Hama, the Bloodbender. So they are doing Katara's bloodbending arc from Book 2. What I'm really hoping, because they didn't include any of it in this trailer, there's a lot of stuff from Ba Sing Se that's not here, is they do have a Tales from Ba Sing Se type of episode, even if they don't dedicate an entire episode to adapting that entire episode, because it was absolutely fantastic, and really hoping we actually get an Iroh Leaves from the Vine scene.
Hey, soldier boy, comes marching home.
They kind of addressed that during Season 1. I'm hoping that wasn't meant to be a replacement for Tales of Ba Sing Se. Be prepared to cry a lot. Again. Really, really hard to watch that episode without crying. Most of these first trailers are just all about revealing Toph's character, so like even the next big trailer will probably double down on a lot more Toph, just because she is like the big star to join Team Avatar during Book 2. But the other real big thing during Book 2 is Zuko having a huge change of heart and turnaround by the end of the season because of what happens in the last couple of episodes. Now, he's on this big arc throughout Book 2, but it's really at the very end of Book 2 that he completely comes to this realization and starts to turn and eventually joins Team Aang by Book 3, Season 3, or what will be Season 3. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on during the trailer here, a lot of stuff they cut out too, so if there's any Easter eggs that you spotted or things you have questions about that I didn't talk about during this video, just write them below in the comments. But remember how much they changed Season 1 of the live-action show from the animated Book 1. Just expect the same type of treatment. There were a couple things during the live-action Season 1 that were just like completely brand new that had nothing to do with the animated series, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do something similar during Season 2 as well. In the trailer, they're only saying a 2026 release date, but I believe it's meant to release early in 2026, so that might mean March. I'm just expecting March right now. Hopefully the next trailer will actually have a more definitive date. I've already done a couple videos about Season 2. Click here for that, and click here to learn about the big Warner Brothers, Paramount, Netflix fight over the company. There's a lot of stuff happening in Hollywood right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.